We're going to start in child's pose, so bring your big toes to touch and spread your knees nice and wide. Extend your arms out in front of you and then let your forehead just fall to the earth. Start to come into your breath here, taking big inhales and exhales through your nose. And just letting your body settle in here on your mat. You let your mind be clear and let yourself become present into your practice. Start to shift forward so that your hips come nice and high, still keeping your forehead on the earth and lifting your elbows up. When you're ready, coming up onto all fours, stack your shoulders over top your wrist, moving into cat-cow. So on your inhale, gaze up, drop your belly. On your exhale, tuck your chin and round your back. Moving through here with your breath as fast or as slow as feels good for your body, just starting to warm up your muscles. When you're ready, find your way back to a neutral spine. Extend your right arm and left leg nice and long. On your exhale, bring your elbow knee to touch. And inhale, send it back out long. Good, engage your core, elbow knee to touch. Inhale, back out. Good, one more, elbow knee to touch. Inhale, back out. And then exhale to release back down. Opposite side, left arm, right leg, extend. Good, move through, elbow knee to touch with your breath. On your exhale, bring them together. Inhale, send it back out long. Good, one more, and then release all fours. Lift your right arm up to the sky, peel your heart open, and then exhale to thread the needle, send it underneath your left arm. Let your shoulder fall to the earth, and then press into your left palm to open up your upper back. Inhale, unwind, and exhale to release all fours. Opposite side, left arm peels open. Thread the needle opposite side. This time, press your right palm into the earth, open up that upper back. Unwind, lift back up, and then exhale to release. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Send your hips nice and high and start to pedal out your feet. Bend one knee and then the next. Again, find some more movement here. Lift your right leg up to the sky, bend at your knee and peel your hip open. Extend back out long and release, down dog. Left leg lifts up, bend and peel your hip open again. Extend it back out long and exhale to release. Start tiptoeing your feet to your hands. Rag doll, grab opposite elbows and just let your head hang nice and heavy and shake it yes and no. Maybe sway back and forth. If it feels good to bring a bend to your knees here, you can. Release your hands to the earth. Heel toe your feet to touch, and then one vertebrae at a time, slowly rise up to high mountain. Sweep your arms up over your head, and then exhale your hands to heart center. Take a few breaths here to just notice your surroundings and become present in this moment. Inhale to reach up high mountain. Exhale, forward fold, hands come through heart center. Inhale to a halfway lift, press your hands against your shins. And exhale, plant your hands, step back to a high plank. Hold here, engage your core, and then shift forward. Keep your elbows tight as you lower halfway, chaturanga. Bring your heart through upward facing dog. And then exhale, hips go high, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step your feet to your hands. Halfway lift, forward fold, release. Rising up high mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center, forward fold. Lengthen halfway. Plant your hands, step back to that plank. Again, take a few breaths here. And then shift forward, lower halfway, chaturanga. Bring your heart through upward facing. Let your heart fall open. And exhale, downward facing dog. Again, if the chaturangas ever become too much, you can come to your knees. Good, bring your feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. High mountain, rise up, arms come up over your head. Exhale through heart center, forward fold. Halfway lift. Plant your hands, step or float back, flow through chaturanga with your breath. And then meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale to float or step your feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. High mountain, rise up. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Lengthen halfway. Plant your hands, step or float back. Again, flow through what we call vinyasa. Chaturanga, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, float or step your feet. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Good, inhale to chair pose. Bring your arms up by your ears. Sink your hips nice and low. Send your belly button to your spine, and then bring your weight into your heels here. So if you needed to lift all your toes, you could. Deep breaths. Exhale to bring your hands by your side as you come up onto your tippy toes, drinking bird. Inhale back, chair pose. And exhale, drinking bird, arms float by your side, tippy toes. Inhale, chair. Exhale, drinking bird. Good, inhale, chair. And forward fold, exhale. Lengthen halfway. Chaturanga, step or flow through. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts to the sky. Stepping it in between your hands and rising up to high crescent. So stack your right knee right over your right ankle. Lengthen your back leg nice and long, arms up by your ears. Take a few deep breaths here. Good, find your center, find your grounding. On your exhale, sweep your arms back to open up your heart, bringing them all the way back up. And exhale, cactus to open. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to the mat. Flow through chaturanga, option of keeping that leg lifted, or if you want to drop to your knees. Left leg lifts high. Step in between your hands. Rise up, high crescent. Again, take a few breaths to find grounding in your feet. And then when you're ready, circle your arms back. Open up your heart, come all the way back up to high crescent. Cactus to open, inhale to rise, exhale to flow, hands to the mat. Chaturanga, upward facing, and exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Inhale to gaze forward, exhale to float or step your feet to your hands. Lengthen halfway, forward fold, release. Chair pose. Exhale, drinking bird. Inhale, chair pose. Start to flow with your breath. Good, drinking bird. Chair pose. Drinking bird. Good, one more inhale, chair. And forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts to the sky. Knee to your right elbow and down to your right wrist. Over to your left wrist and up to your left elbow. Send it back out, three-legged down dog. And then step in between your hands, rise up, high crescent. Sweep your arms back to open up. Good, same flow. Cactus and open. Inhale to rise. Exhale. Stepping forward, airplane pose. Ground down through your right foot as your left lifts to the sky. Really flexing that foot and square off your hips to the earth. Keep that upward facing dog in your chest and then bring a slight bend to your right knee. Step back, high crescent. Open up warrior two. Flip your front palm, reverse warrior, right arm lifts to the sky. And then bring a half bind with your left hand. So maybe it'll catch your shirt or the hip crease. Good, and then exhale, extended side angle. Right arm comes down as your left reaches nice and long. Find a long line all the way from your left toes to your left fingertips. Staying here, or if you want to take that bind, you can, or if you want to take a half bind with just one arm. Inhale to release, come back up, warrior two. Exhale, hands to the mat. Chaturanga, again, option of keeping that leg lifted. Regular chaturanga or coming to your knees. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Left leg lifts to the sky. Again, engage your core. Bring your left to your left elbow, down to your left wrist, over to your right wrist, and up to your right elbow. Left leg goes back out long. Good, step in between your hands. Rise up, high crescent. Open up, circle all the way around. Rise back up. Exhale, cactus and open. Inhale to rise. Good, ground down through your left foot as you launch forward, airplane pose. Again, square off your hips to your mat. Keep that upward facing dog in your chest. Bring a slight bend to your left leg, step back, high crescent, and then open up, warrior two. Keep your legs exactly where they're at as your front palm flips, reverse warrior. Send your left arm nice and long. Take that half bind with your right arm behind. Take another big breath in. And then on your exhale, extended side angle, left arm comes down and right reaches up to the sky. Good, keep your chest turning up and keep it nice and open. Staying here, or if you want to take that bind or half bind, wherever you're at, making sure that you stay committed to that bend in your left leg. So 90 degrees, deep breaths, unwind to come back up, warrior 2. Circle your hands down to your mat and flow through chaturanga, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in and a big exhale out. Good, bring your feet to meet your hands. Lengthen halfway. Forward fold, release. Chair pose, arms up by your ears, sink your hips low. Bring your hands to heart center. And then twisting to your right. So bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee, finding that twisting chair. And take a peek at your knees, making sure that they're still in line with each other. Really press your palms heart center. And then exhale, release, forward fold. Bring your feet hip width apart. Take your peace fingers and grab your big toes and let your head hang nice and heavy. Let your elbows fall wide. Maybe sway or shake back and forth. Just release it all out. Good, release your hands and heel toe your feet back to touch. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Chair pose. Again, bring that weight into your heels and then bring your hands to heart center. Twisting to the opposite side. Right elbow comes to the outside of your left knee. You use your breath here, so with each inhale, find length, and exhale to twist a little bit deeper. Really bring your palms to heart center. Take one more breath in, and then exhale, release. Shake it out. Good, heel toe your feet out, hip width again, and this time slide your palms underneath Gorilla Asana. Let your head hang. If it feels good to bring a bend to your knees, you can bring a bend to your knees. Slowly release. Heel toe your feet back to touch. Lengthen halfway. Forward fold, let it go. High mountain rise all the way up. Bring your hands to heart center. Coming into tree pose on the right side. So peel your right hip open. You can use your hand to assist it all the way up to your thigh, or you can leave it down at your calf. Just make sure that you avoid your knee. Really ground down through your left foot, and then when you're ready, let your branches grow. Deep breaths here. Good, bring your hands to heart center. Keeping that leg lifted and then send it straight back behind you, warrior 3. Again, your hips are going to be square to your mat. Your arms are going to be up by your ears. Engage your lower abs. When you're ready, release. Hands down to the mat. Lift your leg a little bit higher, and then on your exhale, bring your ankles to touch as you come into a little squat here. Good, again. Exhale, little squat. Inhale. And then stepping back to a low lunge. You might need to adjust your stance a little bit here. And then drop your back knee to the earth. Bring both hands to the inside of your left foot and heel toe your left foot out to the edge of your mat. Let your hip fall open so that your pinky toe will be on the mat. You can stay up here on long arms, or if you want to come down to your elbows, just opening up your hip here. Pressing back up to long arms. Heel toe your foot back to center, lifting your back knee up off the mat, and then step your right foot to meet your left, forward fold. Halfway lift, forward fold, release. High mountain rise up. Hands come to heart center. Tree on the opposite side. So peel your left leg open. Again, if you want to use your hand to assist all the way up to your thigh, avoiding the knee. You can always just kickstand your foot as well, or just bring it to your lower leg. When you're ready, let your arms Grow nice and wide or up, wherever feels good for you. Bring your hands to heart center, keeping that leg lifted. And then send your left leg straight back behind you, warrior 3. Arms come up by your ears. Again, square off your hips to your mat. So send your left hip crease down as your right hip crease drives towards the sky. When you're ready, let your hands release. Lift your left leg a little higher, standing splits. And then exhale, little squat, ankles to touch. Inhale, back out. And exhale to squat. Inhale, back out. Good, exhale. One more inhale. This time stepping back to that low lunge. Bring a bend to your right knee and drop your left knee down to the earth. Bring both hands to the inside of your right foot and heel toe your right foot out to the edge of your mat. Staying up on long arms, or if you want to come down onto your elbows. Letting your hip fall open here. Deep breaths. When you're ready, press back up to long arms. Heel toe your foot back to center. Lift your back knee up off the mat. Step your left foot to meet your right, forward fold. Lengthen halfway. And forward fold, release. Rise all the way up, high mountain, arms sweep up over your head. Exhale, hands to heart center, forward fold. Lengthen halfway. Plant your hands, step or float back, flow through chaturanga, upward facing, and exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up to the sky. Stepping in between your hands, windmill all the way up, warrior 2. Straighten your right leg, reaching forward, triangle pose, right hand comes down as your left reaches towards the sky. Making sure that you're not crunching in the right side of your body, so still keeping length there. Good, bring both hands down to the mat, pointing both toes towards the front of your mat, but still keep that nice wide stance here. So your back heel probably will not be touching the mat, which is totally fine. Release your head. Good, then coming down to a low lunge, straighten your front leg, finding that hamstring stretch, release your head down, coming back forward, low lunge, and then flow through chaturanga. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Left leg lifts high. Bring it in between your hands, rise up, warrior 2. Left leg straightens, reaching forward, triangle pose, left hand comes down, and right lifts. Bringing both hands down to your mat, pointing both toes towards the front of your mat. Find that wide stance, release your head. Then come into a low lunge, drop your back knee. Straighten your left leg, find that hamstring stretch. Let your head hang. Your left toes will lift up off the ground. Coming back, low lunge, and then flow, chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shifting forward to a high plank and then slowly lowering all the way down to the mat. Good, taking your time here. Bring both hands out to the side. And then tucking your right hand in, coming up over top onto your left shoulder. Just stretching it out here. Your right leg will come up over top as well, opening up. You can keep your head on the ground. Coming back to center when you're ready, switch sides. Your right arm will be out long, left arm will tuck in. Coming over onto your right elbow or your right shoulder. And your left leg will flip over top as well. When you're ready, come back to center. Bring both hands behind your back. Interlace them, and on your inhale, lift to open up. Good, lift your heart, lift your legs. One more breath in. And exhale, release. Bring one cheek to the mat. And let your body just be here in stillness. Take a few breaths. When you're ready, come back to center. Take your arms behind you, grabbing your feet or your ankles, and then on your inhale, again, lifting up, lift your legs, lift your heart. Take one more breath in and exhale, release opposite cheek to the earth, and windshield wiper your legs side to side. And then let them fall back down to the earth. Bring your hands back up by your chest, pressing up onto all fours. Downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up to the sky, bringing it through for half pigeon. So your right knee will be by your right wrist. And then inhale to open up your heart first, and exhale, coming down to a comfortable place here. You can stay on your elbows, or if you want to come all the way down, you can. Also option, if you want to bring your hands heart center, place them at the nape of your neck. As you start to crawl your elbows forward, it will stretch out your upper arms. Slowly release and pressing back up to long arms. Send your right leg back. Shake it out, maybe open it up, whatever feels good here. When you're ready, left leg lifts. Bring it through for half pigeon. Extend your right leg long behind you, that left leg is bent. Inhale to lift up your heart, and then exhale to fold down.
I watch it in the blood, I watch it in the bone. I'm calling to the golden one, that's how I'm getting home. Watch it in the cold.
Again, bring your arms to wherever feels good here. If you wanted to stay up on your elbows or palms at the nape of your neck, or you can let them come out long. Take a few more breaths.
Watch it in you, yes, I'm watching it in me. Go free. Keep on, keep on, keep on. We call, we call. We call.
Pressing back up to long arms. Send your left leg back and shake it out, open it up. Coming down onto all fours, and then find your way all the way onto your back. Place your feet on the ground with your knees bent, and then hug them into your chest. Give them a nice tight squeeze. Coming into a spinal twist here, let your arms come out to a T and let your legs fall to the right side, gazing to the left. Center. Hug your knees back in, give them a tight squeeze, and then let them fall to the opposite side. Gaze comes to the right, arms still out at a T, spinal twist. Coming back to center, hug your knees in, and then lifting up to shoulder stand. Go lift your hips and bring your palms to the base of your back. Let your feet fall over your head for plow pose, and then bend your knees by your ears, deaf man's pose. One vertebrae at a time, coming back down to your mat. Heel toe your feet out so that they're a little wider than your mat, and then let your knees fall together. You should feel this in your outer hips. If you want it to be a little more intense, you can crawl your feet out even wider, or you can start to crawl your heels in towards your body more. When you're ready, heel toe your feet to touch. Good, bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees open nice and wide. Just let your body be here. Again, feel the stillness of your body and feel your breath rise and fall. Take a few moments of gratitude. Close your knees together like a book, and then hug them into your chest. Bring your forehead to meet your knees and give yourself a nice big hug. One more big breath in. And then exhale, release. Shavasana. Let your arms and legs fall along by your side. Release your breath. Release the tongue from the top of your mouth and just fully surrender into the earth. Start to bring slow movements to your toes and your fingers. And then extend your arms up over your head and point your toes. Take a nice big stretch. Rolling to your right side, use your arm as a pillow with your knees bent. And then pressing up to a seated position. Bring your hands to heart center and closing your eyes. Bring your palms up to your forehead and third eye for loving thoughts. To your lips for loving words. And your heart for loving intentions. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.